So this chart shown here is known as the sensory pyramid of learning. It is a framework used to understand how sensory processing impacts a child's ability to perform complex tasks and engage in higher level learning. Children need sensory input for their bodies from the time of birth throughout childhood. Difficulty mastering skills in the sensory system sets off a chain reaction of difficulty of mastering the higher tiers. So when children have difficulty with basic building blocks, it impacts their overall brain organization. So the first tier is the central nervous system, known as the CNS. The CNS consists of the brain and the spinal cord. The central nervous system is less mature in children than in adults. Therefore, children need sensory opportunity to help with development. The brain is continuously working to strengthen connection for learning. A child's CNS takes information from the sensory system. The CNS receives the input, processes it, and makes a response. The CNS matures and develops based on the processing and integration of sensory information. The second tier is the sensory system, and this consists of 7 sensory systems, which are the olfactory, the visual, the auditory, the gustatory, tactile, vestibular, and proprioception. These 7 systems help to understand the environment. The third tier is the sensory motor development, which is basic motor skills and body control. This is the process by which a child learns to use and coordinate their muscles along with their senses to better understand their environment. This is when a child is going through the stages of rolling, crawling, standing, walking, running, and so forth. So in this tier, there's the body scheme, which is the body's awareness through movement. There is reflex maturity, which is developed reflex for safety purposes. And if this is not mature, this can cause an interference with motor development. The ability to screen, which is to filter out, focusing on what's important. Postural security, which is to maintain posture to prevent from falling. Awareness of 2 sides of the body, which is bilateral integration. And motor planning, which is the ability to plan movement. The fourth tier is perceptual motor development, which is hand-eye coordination. Ocular motor control, which is locating and fixating on something in the environment. Auditory language skills, which is hearing and speaking appropriately. Visual perception, which is what do they see. Attention-centered functioning, which is maintaining attention to tasks. The top tier is cognition and intellect. This consists of activities of daily living, academic learning, and behavior. So when children have sufficient sensory opportunities, they build sensory and perceptual motor skills efficiently so daily tasks can be performed. Our central nervous system is the foundation for all learning. Behavioral approaches focus only on the skills acquisition at the top of the pyramid, without considering the whole child and their development. These higher level functions are highly dependent on our regulation and ability to process different motor and sensory input in our environment. Now, when we only focus on the end results, we get frustrated when the child can't attend or practice their skills. If we don't look at the child as a whole, we can miss key individual differences that are meant for the foundation of learning.